All right, we're going to get started in a second. I'll look at the dono in a minute. Ooh, shit. My bad. Hit the microphone. I'm getting the footage together. I actually have a few clips from the recent episode. We're going to wait a few minutes till people get in here. Let me just send out a few streams. To break this down, we're kind of... Let me copy and paste this. To give you guys a heads up, if you're new here or maybe just, over the break, you forgot what's going on, we're going to do a first impression review. And I was able to actually get a little bit of footage for this. So you'll see some clips specifically addressing what exactly I may have had issues with or what I liked a lot. And it'll be about 10 to 15 minutes. And then the remaining 30 minutes to 45 minutes, we're going to do fan feedback. And the extension of the after show will be determined based on the interest. If there's a lot of interest and the conversation is going, we'll go the full hour. If not, we'll shut her down early. No sense in dragging it out just to hit an hour or 2 hours every single stream. But it looks like I do have some of the footage here. We're going to wait another minute, and then we're going directly into the first impression review because I don't want people waiting. Before we get into it, I will say, though, absolutely without a doubt, you guys are not going to like me because the early reviews from the entire industry were praising this episode all around. And I went into it thinking, listen, this is going to be good. I know a little too much just based upon some reviews and stuff, but this is going to be good. It's going to be fun. And it comes on, and I didn't hate it. It wasn't something where I'm like, damn, but I just didn't like it. I just didn't love it. I felt like the claustrophobic cave stuff and really impressive set design, but the cave itself, it was, and they put up images on Instagram. They actually built this, but it was just filmed in a very simple way, simple, generic, especially, or not just especially, but with some of the conflict and some of the fighting, whether it's other walkers or whispers. And again, if I was to film a scene, I don't know how I would do it any different because it might seem like a silly thing, but when you have a person and their feet are flailing and you have zombie extras, you don't want them getting kicked in the face. You don't want them getting, their orbital bones smashed or their nose broken or their teeth kicked out, lips smashed. You know what I'm saying? And that's like worst case scenario, but you still don't want to just kick your extras in the face. And it's a simple little stunt. And even that's a stunt. It's a simple stunt. In theory, it's not like someone jumping in this explosion, but in theory, it's a simple stunt. But it's kind of complicated and tricky because if you don't get it right, man, you're going to take a foot to the face. Anyway, and again, a lot of this has to do with when they're flailing around. What they chose to do is to just kind of cut it. Even when the whispers were fighting, cut it in a way where we barely don't see it or just don't see it enough. And the thought did have me at the edge of my seat like, oh no, so-and-so's in trouble. But even then it was like, yeah, they're in trouble, but a zombie's not going to bite through the foot. So how much trouble are you really in, All right, so let's back this up. Let me see. We got a good amount of people in here. I'm going to back this up, and I'm going to move the camera over. Let me go with this, because I do have some footage to show you. Let me go with this. Capture. Let me put Maggie on the screen, just in case I don't do it right. Where's it at here? The display. All right, so that's the display, that page. So how do I put up this? All right, so here's the footage there. Now, I'm not going to be able to see. Quickly in the chat, let me know if you guys can see the image or if it blacks out or not. Because for me, it looks like I'll have to... You guys let me know real quick if you can see the clip. Can you hear it? I wonder if I am on top. It does look like I am on top of the clip. I'm going to wait a second. If you guys said you can see the clip, hear the clip. I'm going to show you some of the clips as I discuss it. I do have to move one thing, though. I'm going to take my webcam down just a touch, so that way you can see some of the clips. Yes, you can see it and hear it. All right, let's dive right into this then, because I'm going to have to put the chat down. I can't see what you're saying at this point. So anyway, we do kick off with bit of cringe. And again, I don't know. If the scene didn't have that in there, it would have been whatever. But I still like the idea of these two characters early in the season, in the premiere and the second episode, right? They had a face-off. And now the mid-season premiere, and they got a face-off. And Carol was looking down at her in the premiere, and now, you know, his roles have kind of changed, and Alpha got one over, and she's looking down on Carol. So I do like that little bit. It's just and again, tiny stuff. Who cares? A cringy little scream, tiny stuff. Who cares? There's, oh my God, I love this. This had to have been a stunt person. Now again, the sound, it makes it worth it, but oof. I love that. And it's just foam, but still. Oof. That was great. Now, what else we have? And here's another thing. I don't know the actress's name. Someone, I can't even see the chat, but holla at me, because she's a little firecracker. I like some of her outbursts here, and some of her performance was pretty good. Here, again, it's a little thing, but I loved it. Just how she had this moment where she was just going nuts on the walkers. Beating his ass. You know, I dig it. And I think a part of what didn't really pull me into the episode was a lot in how they filmed it. Because some things I was expecting something, and we're going to get to that in a second. And then because they wanted a slower moment, they just stopped. I'll show you what I mean.
Knock yourself out, dude.
He gives him the hand. Jerry cuts off the hand of the zombie. And they do this twice in the episode. And at first I was like, wait, will that even burn? But then I thought, I don't even care, because I love it. He's holding this little torch, and it's a little hand. And I thought there's two ways they could have done that. The way they did it, and then they could have lit his hand on fire. They could have had the zombie hand wrapped with material, and then it would be dripping blood the whole time, which for a cover of a comic or something, that'd be pretty fly, because you'd have that like drip of blood. But I got a kick out of that, so I didn't care. And then he hands it off to Connie. And I love that they don't draw attention to it. They're just kind of like, here it is. You know, here you go. Here's a burning zombie hand.
Just claustrophobic.
Oh, I left this little clip here. Again, it's so dark and hard to see. I hate when it's difficult to see. It'll be better when you get it on Blu-ray. But Darryl has this little walk where he's trying to be so careful with the fire.
Just claustrophobic.
It's tiny, but I got a giggle out of it. Are you thinking, huh? Here is the Magna. I've been doing that recently. I don't have an excuse why. Clearly, they're two different characters. I clearly know the difference, but I keep calling them the other one. But Magna is a character that they keep making us almost not like her. Carol made a mistake. She's in the wrong. She's been screwing up. That's part of the story. She's been screwing up, but just having Magna and her, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the actress's performance, but she just gets on my nerves, man. And I think it's a combination of everything that they had the character do. I'm just annoyed at the character already.
You gonna follow me?
Here we get this moment where, okay, we got to go, man. We got to get up out of this cave. They cut the commercial and they cut back. Now, I'm paying attention like a hawk because I'm still in this mode that this is going to be fire. Here we go. We're going.
You gonna follow me?
They're sitting down. Why are they sitting down? They don't mention it. Now, I've watched this episode 3 times. The first time I was in shock because I thought, it must have been me. It was me. because everyone said these episodes are great. And I was like, damn, what's wrong with me? So I watched it again and again. I'm never going to watch this episode again. There's like 2 moments where I genuinely enjoy those moments. Everything else, it's not that I hate it. It's not like Star Wars bad, where you can just murder it because it's just terrible. This is something where you could see the effort, you can see the idea, you can see the concept, but it just doesn't ring for me. Having a moment like that where we're going, but we come back from commercial and they're all just chilling. Why are you chilling? I mean, this is an emergency moment. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow.
Watching us.
Alpha. Did she know? Does she know? I saw a lot of people say, but Ronnie, it was a trap and Alpha set it on purpose. No, she didn't. All right, we have the confirmation. No, that was a fucking accident. And I knew it was an accident because the way Alpha looks at Carol and them before they ran in episode 1008, that's not an on-purpose look. She looked and she was like, you sons of bitches, what are you doing here? That was not on... And now she comes back to her camp and she's all like, yo, the enemy is here, whoop-de-whoop. She told the people in the cave, she grabs her mask. How was that set up? I'm assuming in my head that she goes there and she's setting this all up and she's out looking around, getting fresh air for whatever reason. All I'm saying is rewatchability. These moments pop out at me and it's like, it's all staged, you know, which is sad because when Walking Dead is on and popping, the moments don't feel staged for the characters in the story. It flows. It's really the coming Walking Dead Flaw and All 103 is a perfect example. It's posting either Monday or Tuesday. Perfect example where Rick is in camp and he's like, I gotta go back. I can't leave a human being on a roof. And they're like, no, Rick, that's not good enough. And he's like, you don't understand. It's that there's guns. We need that for protection. And Lori is like, Rick, I need to understand. And he's like, listen, I almost died. There's this man and his son. If it wasn't for them, I have to warn them. I got to. I can't let them go to the horde. And she's like, well, what's stopping you? And he's like, the walkie is in the bag with the guns. And it locks it in. So all those different story elements cinch it. And it's like, it's just fluid and organic. Here we just have a staged Alpha. Small deal. I shouldn't even ramble on it. But I'm just letting you know what's pulling me out of the moment kind of as I'm chilling. Because again, why is Alpha there? And what was she doing? Maybe she was just getting air. I don't know. Cool looking image of Alpha in the mask though. I really dig the look of the whispers.
Don't bullshit me.
I like Melissa McBride, and I do like the moments between her and Daryl. She did annoy me later on in the episode, but I genuinely do like her performances, and I do like those characters. Now, the fight coming up. This is something that I talked about previously. We know there's going to be whispers coming into the cave, and I was really excited for how they would, because you got this perfect opportunity. They started playing it out. I know it's hard to see. I'm sorry. I could barely see it when I'm watching. I was in the room with lights off like this, trying to see everything I could possibly, turning the brightness up and all that. But you have her, and a whisperer comes. Where they fail, a number of ways, is one, they built it up, and I was like, this is good, because she's going from room to room, and that's another thing. They're using the lighters to get wind drafts to see where there's an opening and where there's air, and that's something that I loved, and they don't mention it. They just leave it for the audience to, you're either going to catch on or you're going to maybe look it up, you know? And they kind of lose it here, and the music, I feel like they should have just ditched it. Go watch Bone Tomahawk. In the beginning, you hear these feet, thud, 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 and then a guy's attacked. They should have just did that. Get rid of the fucking music and do the sound of something coming for you in the cave. Immerse us with them. Again, just roll up with music, yell, and commercial. And the fighting here, for me, it's whack. I mean, we see Magna, I'm doing it again, Magna holding off someone with a knife. Then we cut to Daryl about to fight someone. Then we cut to Jerry, I guess, throwing a whisper on the ground. And then we cut to Magna getting up off the ground. Yeah, it's so chopped up. And the way it was done, it was just not interesting. This person just gets clubbed by Magna. Where was the other one? Yeah, just a bunch of unnecessary stuff. When they saw this arrow, I did immediately think, if I was Alpha, I would make all my arrows backwards. So I thought they were going to go, okay, well, which way is the way to go? But again, that doesn't matter. Even the direction they go was such a tight fit. I kind of feel like in the next episode or 2 episodes from now, we're going to see them go up to a sign and go the opposite way. Because again, it's like a code. You think it's there for them to follow, but it's like a double way for them to follow, but also for you to go the wrong way. Anyhow, the back and forth with Negan and Alpha, love it. Again, because it fits. Alpha is in exactly the same position as Negan was. It fits. I like it. I like their chemistry, except for this upcoming moment. Oh, she got a cool looking like... We got Negan talking about nut tapping, and you can watch my flaw and awe video for that. I think it's like 5 or 6. We do this whole skit, and it's a funny skit. I've watched it a couple times. I like it because Negan should not be saying, you don't go too high, you get nothing but dick. Lines like this. This is Negan we're talking about. And then they do it again. They're just like... What are they doing with my boy Negan? What are they doing with him? He's literally in human shit right now. Shit and piss. I don't know. I just kind of feel like it doesn't matter. Anyway, they show Daryl looking at the footprints, which is something that I do appreciate that they do from time to time. We don't have to see how he knows. Just kind of show us and let us get an idea of where he's pulling this from. And it doesn't have to be all the time. Once in a while. And again, I think it's just fun. It's just fun to kind of see like, okay, a little bit of twigs broken, footprints in the dirt type deal. Small thing that I just want to give them credit for because they show us. Going into the caves here, Carol has a moment of being claustrophobic. I think that's incredibly understanding. I'm pretty solid when it comes to fear. But that would probably freak me out a bit. I probably wouldn't stop and hyperventilate or have an anxiety attack. But I can feel your pain, Carol, because that's a scary thought. That's a scary-ass thought. So I'm digging that. The way they filmed it, and usually I complain that the filmmakers go too tight with it. The way they filmed it, I feel like I got to do something about this. I got to lighten this up. You guys can't see shit. Hold on. Let me add. Okay. Brighter. Is that? No. Yeah, you guys aren't going to be able to see shit. The way they filmed it was a bit too wide. I think it's coming up, actually. No, I do like that moment. They pull back and they show this really long, wide whatever. And I don't know. There was a moment there where I felt like just different angles. And again, this is different tastes. My opinions aren't the one and only way it should be. I'm just saying for me as my particular tastes, going in close like this and doing it in a different way probably would have had me a little more gripped. I would have to go hunting for the clip. But if you watch the episode, you'll see a moment where they're crawling on their bellies. I could have sworn I had it. And they have this really wide shot where they pulled back and you can see them crawling through. I don't know. It didn't do much for me. Yeah, he gets stuck in the hole. Jerry does. I will say this right now. Coming up in the comic, there was a part where a character was around a lot of walkers, and then later they're revealed to be they got bitten. Now, it was a big character in the comic. It was Andrea. In the comic, she was a huge character at this point in time. She was with Rick in a relationship, so it was a big deal. It was real underwhelming the way it was done. However, there's a part of me that thinks with all this going on, I bet you someone got bit and just because now's the perfect time. They're always near walkers, nipping at their heels, and even Kelly fell down amongst some. Now would be a perfect time for one of them to be like, oh shit, I got bit. I was trying to see if this was their teeth stuck on his boot. Do you see this here? This is that like a, because it looks like it would be in the shape of a mouth. So it literally ripped out their teeth or their jaw, part of the jaw. But again, look at these boots. This is what I'm saying. I used to wear these boots or boots similar to this all the time, and you're not biting through it. I don't care. You can gnaw on it and you're not going to bite through it. If they get you by your legs and stuff, yeah. But again, it just, that part wasn't all that scary. I like Aaron with his mace hand. That thing looks vicious. They got an arm again. They lit another zombie arm up. Again, I don't know. I was cracking up at that, but, well, not really. But I liked it. Just the idea. And you got a lot of zombies down there. All right, pretty cool. I guess this is the big scene coming up. Yeah, it's small stuff.
You never made it to the border.
She is.
It's just Beta coming up. Okay, Gamma. Beta goes off, and that's going to play in part 2. This line was my favorite in the whole episode.
Looks like Mom's mad at me.
He said, looks like Mom's mad at me. I can't tell how the volume on your end is going to be. So Negan, the moment here with Negan and Alpha, this is a moment that I dig concept-wise. Alpha just in the suit. I kind of feel that I think the scene would have played better if Alpha was ridiculously beautiful. You know what I mean? In the comic, you kind of get that vibe. And again, it's hard to tell because the imagery is simple. But you do have a person that's drawn that looks like she could be just, you know, ridiculously beautiful. And the idea is how hideous it is having that mask on with a banging chick underneath. And if they did something similar to that, I think it would have had just a different impact. But that's a small thing. Their conversation and their back and forth, for me, it just fell totally flat. Negan had this emotional kind of look as if he thought maybe he was going to get killed or punished or something. And he did have a surprise, like, reward for what?
Weirdly, the opposite.
But I did make jokes about keeping the mask on for sex at one point in time, maybe several times. So again, concept-wise, yeah, let's do it. But again, it was the conversation and the build-up around it that, for me, just fell flat. Again, I didn't hate it, just whatever. I thought this was odd. It's the same hole, but doesn't it look a little different? She's definitely neck deep. Doesn't this look a little different? How did she get her head up out of the hole that much? And he doesn't even look like he could. Small thing, but it just threw me off. Because while I was watching it, I thought, wait, are they going through 2 different holes?
Where's Carol?
Carol leaving. The moment that's going to piss a lot of people off. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about the Negan and Alpha thing. Because I feel like fans are going to... that's going to be a big moment for fans. But again, for me, it just... I don't know, man. It felt flat. Carol goes off. Let's say she doesn't know anything about dynamite. First off, it would be incredibly unstable. And all she would have to do, I imagine, is just drop it down. She falls because she tries to light it. Which, all right, I don't even know for sure if it would blow up if you just throw it down. But the idea that she didn't even wait, she could have killed them all. Forget just her in this moment. She didn't even wait. Like, this right here is a major Carol screw up. Major.
Take out half her horde.
She's right, though. You can take out her horde. I think this is something they should have had a plan. Broken out, came back. This is something she shouldn't have hid. This is something that if she mentioned to Daryl... Didn't Daryl try to take dynamite to blow up Negan's people and Rick and Daryl got into a fist fight? I know Carol wasn't there, didn't witness it, but I bet you she heard that story. I bet you she knows of that. It's out of character for Darryl not to use the dynamite against the Horde. It's out of character for Carol not to say, hey, we're almost out. Let's use the dynamite. Someone will take the risk to go. We'll even trigger it somehow where you have the dynamite leaning on something. We'll lean a slack of rope, get close enough to the hole and just give it a little tug, you know? I mean, it's a better shot than let's not use something that's an incredible weapon. And again, they would use that. So there's no excuse for her to go running off by herself.
She killed my boy.
And Melissa McBride, excellent delivery all the time. I do wonder what's up with this hip sway. I felt like this was someone on a runway showing off post-apocalyptic clothing and not like a real serious fighter. Look at her going into battle. I don't know. What is that walk? Bitch, you're about to fight some zombies. What are you doing? I think I'm more irritated at this point with the audience. Here's where the cave collapses. And when I was first watching this again, what is she doing? She moves her over. I'm assuming she's saying, yo, we gotta go. But the way it was filmed and the way they did the blocking here is so strange, so weird. Or the way the characters are moving about here. For me, it just, I don't know, it was so awkward. And then this. And I know someone straight told me, bro, Magna dies, yada, yada, yada. And I know someone else told me Connie dies. And again, I'm like, bro, I don't do spoilers, but fucking thanks. And then when I finished it, I'm like, there's no way none of you believe that they both died. There's no way you believe that. Even if I can say there's a slim chance one of them would die from that. Yeah, but if they were going to die, they would have it filmed, I don't know, man, a little more memorable? Is that the best way to put it? And then from this moment on, it just felt like it was rushed, even though, and this is why I say I don't hate it, but it just didn't hit for me. The characters are saying the right things, especially here.
We can't save them if we're dead.
Yeah, perfect. We gotta go. We gotta hurry. And it still felt rushed. But the characters got a point. We gotta go. We gotta regroup. We're gonna come back and get them and find them. And Darryl's moment here, probably one of my favorite moments. I think a couple little of these moments really hit home for me. Everything else fell flat. This one Darryl moment, beautiful. Right here. That's it. That is it. The simplicity, yet the anger. There's so much you can draw from this. Am I in the way? I can't see, but he just points at her. You know, again, he's so angry, he's speechless. Or he's so furious and mad, he can't say the words because this is a person he loves. And he never imagined a day would come where he would say this type of, yell or say these type of words to this person that's, the closest person to him in his life. There's a whole bunch of different emotions that can be packed into this one simple, just that point, like, you bitch, just that point. Absolutely amazing, incredible. And Melissa McBride, I feel like they gave her some wonky, terrible, cringe-inducing dialogue in this moment. Yet she's such a fantastic actor that she did an incredible, amazing job with something that if you gave it to someone that couldn't swing it, it would have been just a bunch of, like an oof moment. It's that bad. But she's so good that I know a lot of people are going to come away and be like, this is incredible. And it's an incredible, I just feel like they should have tweaked some of those words around. When she first started talking, I was in literal shock because it felt like a person that was responsible or could be responsible for 2 deaths. And the way her dialogue comes off to some people, it's like all about me. It's all about Carol. You know what I mean? So at first I was in just shock and I had to rewind it.
You cared about her. And now she's gone because of me. You cared about her. And now she's gone because of me.
That whole line there should have been ripped. Why is that even... I don't understand how a professional in the industry is even writing a line like that. I don't know. Would someone even say that? Would the audience need to know that? We already know. We already get it. I just feel like they really should have... What is this? Get rid of this. They really should have tweaked her dialogue. But Melissa McBride is so fantastic. She makes it work, man. So they go home, and he goes off looking for a way back in to get Connie and Magna. Now, I'll be interested to see where they go, because I can't believe they would send them out in a way that's so... what's the right word? That's not memorable. You know what I mean? And again, everyone doesn't have to have this amazing death, and it's not even an amazing death, but you can have very memorable performances or exits. All right, let me get the other screen up. Wait, am I doing this right? And then we will... yeah, let me get the other screen up, and then we will look at the chat and see what you guys have to say. To finish off my review, that's pretty much it. I understand if there's going to be a lot of people that love this episode. I get it. I get what I can see. This is one of those weird reviews where I can see where people are getting a certain amount of the love from. It's not something that's done just absolutely horrible. For me personally, though, it just it doesn't work. It doesn't fit. It just comes off as a bit flat. Well, shit, that doesn't work. You guys can't see that. You know what? We could just have Ellie in the background, because Ellie is good enough to be in the background. Yeah, for me, it's just it's a touch flat. So let's pop the chat out and see what you guys are saying. Pop out chat. That is a weird one. I think overall for the fan base, if I'm being brutal, right? If I'm being brutal, I would say this episode is a 7 out of 10, right? And again, that's trying to take into consideration how this will go over throughout the fan base. My own personal score, this episode would be among the ones I almost never watch again. So it's probably going to be around a 3 or 4 out of 10, you know. And again, for my personal, when I sit back to rewatch the series, this isn't going to be an episode that I look forward to, other than Negan's line, Darryl pointing. There's nothing that just calls me back to it. Even setup wise, again, that's what left me just like oh yeah, we didn't do a straw poll. Yeah, let's do a straw poll. Perfect. Let's do a straw poll, because now, and again, I think you guys are gonna vote good for the episode. I really do. Hang in there, chat. I'm gonna do a straw poll, and I'm gonna put the link in the comment box so you guys can go and vote for the episode yourselves. Let me make sure. Let me move this over. So yeah, go ahead and go. I can't cover Ellie. Beautiful Ellie. I can't do it. So let's move you over. Let's move me over. Bam. And then, who's excited for The Last of Us 2? Who's excited? Oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. I don't know how or what, but I'm setting aside a whole week. And on this channel, we're going to do a whole week of Last of Us 2. Gameplay. Oh, shit. Hold on. They did a new... Shit, they changed it up. Okay. The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 9. And the description, vote now on the episode. Vote now on this new episode. All right, boom. Simple, easy. Love it. You can do love. You can do like. Nope, that's not it. You can do meh and okay are going to be the same. Because if it's just like, okay. And then dislike and then hate. And listen, I would love to keep it simple. Yeah, like, meh, or hate. But every time I did that, I get people saying, well, I didn't vote hate because I don't hate. I just didn't like it. And it's like, come on, man. You know, you're splitting hairs. Private via whatever, create poll. So we got love, like, meh, okay, dislike, and hate. Meh and okay is the same one. So create poll. Here's the link. I'm putting the link in the comment section right now. So you guys can go ahead and vote right now. And for anyone interested in the flaw and awe, there will not be a flaw and awe for episode 1009. For this episode, right away. Again, we're testing something out. It doesn't mean we're not going to get to it at all. We're testing something where instead of doing a live stream for 1008 today and then a flaw and awe for 1009 tomorrow. Did I say that right? Instead of doing the episode back-to-back 2 days in a row, we're doing the live stream tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to do flaw and awe for episode 103. That got delayed anyway by a week, so instead of releasing it today, I just figure I'll finish up. I got like 4 hours of editing to go. I'll finish it up, and I'll upload it. If it doesn't post tomorrow, that's because it gets blocked. I'll re-edit, and I'll put it down. I'll post it on Tuesday at the very latest. But yeah, 1003 is a tricky one. It is so short. I had to go back and redo it. For 3 days, I'm fighting with myself. Why is it so short? And it's just a simple episode. 1003 is just such an incredibly simple episode with like 2 like really amazing moments. And the rest is still good. Maybe 3 amazing moments. All right, we had a $10 dono. Let me do the donos real quick. We had a $10 love tap from AP saying the episode was a D, but your stream will be an A. Well, thank you very much for that vote of confidence. I appreciate that. All right, was that it? That was it for the direct to PayPal. Let me look on Streamlabs. I'm putting a link. If you're new here, I'm putting a link to vote about this episode, to vote on the episode down below. Yeah, Connie is hot. She's definitely hot. We had Aaron P with a $2 dono. Is this stream going to be demonetized? Most likely AMC will claim, because I played a few clips, so most likely they'll claim it. Oh shit. Wade says with a $5 love tap, hey dude, thanks for all the great content. Why won't it let me see that? Here we go. Thanks for all the great content. Been watching for a minute. Well, thank you very much, Wade. I appreciate the dono and the support. Abso-friggin-lutely. You guys voting on the straw poll? Dawson with a $2 dono. What's up, Ronnie? How's life? Been shit. Been absolute shit. Absolute shit. We had just shit. Just fucking. I moved to hell. That's where I moved. Moved to a different area that was a little cheaper, but it's a shit area. If there's wind, we lose power. Snow, we lose power. If it rains, we lose power. We had a storm, and then it messed stuff up. So we just went a whole week without running water. Over a week without running water. Just ridiculous. Just got water back today, actually. The Walking Dead newest episode is apparently on this website called Philo. What the hell is that? AMC related. I never heard of that. Someone should make video of every cut to commercial just as action is about to hit. It's really my only complaint. Negan Alpha was meant to make us uncomfortable. Well, if that's the case, they utterly failed. I mean, maybe with the mask stuff, and again, I joked around about it so much, I got a kick out of it. The straw poll's in the comments section. I'm going to put it there again. Actually, I think there's a way I can toss it in the description real quick. Hold on. I think I can edit. Yeah, let me put the straw poll if I can. Vote now. And then, fuck, I had the caps lock on. Oh, well. If this works, you guys will be able to get to the straw poll in the video description right now. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, as far as the Negan and Alpha stuff being uncomfortable, it didn't hit for me. It was the dialogue. It just... what? He was emotional like he was going to get executed, but then he's talking about we're different and I did something and saved people, and I'm like, maybe I'm just retarded at the moment, but what are you saying? One doesn't have a damn thing to do with the other one. What are you even... Like, at the time, I thought he was worried that he was going to get killed because he tried saying that Gamma, so he came out of pocket about Gamma, and she was going to kill him because of that. So I thought he was going to be like, hey, listen, I might have been wrong. I'm sorry. From my experience, yada, yada, yada. For me, it just didn't work, you know? But I can see some people being uncomfortable with their interaction. Sure. For me, it just didn't hit for me. IB swept P2. They turned Carol into Steve Urkel. Everything that goes wrong is her fault. Getting stuck in the cave blowing up, inconsequential episode. Well, thanks for the $5 dono. I will say it seems like they're definitely leaning towards that, but it makes sense because what Alpha did. So it makes sense this season, this part of the story would have Carol out for blood. I don't think they did it properly, though. I think it was them being tunnel focused on the place collapsing, the dynamite and the area collapsing. I think they were honed in on that, and then it was the easiest choice to just have Carol grab the dynamite and run off. I just don't think it makes any sense logically, because the characters would have both done it. They would have said, okay, we're almost free. Let's go rig it up. Again, simple rig, dynamite, block, string. Go back as far as you can. Pull it, jump out the damn hole, and then ba-boom. Yeah, well, the dynamite will fall and then blow up. And then if the cave falls in, oh well. They could have done so much more with this episode. I agree with that. And I think it does come down to simple stuff. Like how it's filmed when they were in the caves. The fighting with the Whispers, again, for me was some of the most disappointing. Even when I rewatched it, I watched the episode 3 times. Even rewatching it, there's nothing there. You see 2 people about to be in a fight, and then this person does this, and then this person does this. It's like, it's not fluid at all. Oh, I'm sorry. Magna just gets up off the ground when before, like, she was going to get stabbed at. I don't know, man. I don't know. Was the scene sex rating? Yeah, they gave a sex rating for... hold on one second. Let me see what popped up on my phone. I should have my phone off. They gave the sex rating for them hugging naked in the woods. Which was dumb. I thought that was dumb. To get a rating for that, it was just like, what? Why did Carol need to climb across rocks to throw some dynamite? Yeah, that was stupid too. I think the idea was No, she shouldn't have at all, because they walked right up to the ledge. I think yeah, that was dumb, because the idea was she set it down to light it, but all she had to do was light it and drop it right down. Actually, she could have just dropped it right down. We got a $10 dono, it looks like, but no message. I think that's direct to PayPal. I'll check. Beginning was corny, yeah, with Carol screaming. Alright, I got another dono to PayPal, but there was no message. So if you want to try to pop a message in the chat, or it was supposed to be just here's dono. Thank you very much for that, though. I don't want to say your name in case it's in anonymous. Why is Magna so unwatchable? Every scene she's in, I cringe or lose all interest. Maybe it's the actress, but I don't have this problem with Yumiko. I love Yumiko a lot. I think it's a combination of the actress's performance, and in certain moments, she works. So I don't think it's just totally the actress being unlikable. But I think a combination between the performance she's picking plus the direction they're giving her and the character and the dialogue, all of that is the perfect storm of just annoying. What'd you think of Carol screaming? Yeah, that was off. All right, I'm putting the straw poll for anyone new. I'm putting the straw poll for the last time in the comments section. You can find it in the video description. Do you feel like playing Tomb Raider? No, we're not going to play Tomb Raider tonight. Sunday night streams are going to be nice and tight. We only got about 15 minutes left. 45 minutes to an hour at the most. Over the last few years of doing the streams, it is almost 98% true that once we pass an hour, it's just a train wreck. On the analytics, questions go all over the place. People lose interest. Once we hit that, it seems like that's like the real breaking point. So we're going to test it. When we do the thing, no matter what, we're going to get off in that hour. Perhaps she wanted... Not only that, I got to wake up 5:30 in the morning. I'm not playing Tomb Raider for hours and then going to bed and waking up in 3 hours. You know what I mean? Not for Tomb Raider. Imagine at the end, after blowing up, Carol says, "Did I do that?" And what rating did they give when Rick literally bit the guy's throat out in season 4? Well, they always have the violence rating, so that's already there. They don't normally have the sexual violence and language. That was the only thing new. Perhaps she wanted to bring down more of the rock by planting the dynamite on the cliff. See, there you go. That could be it. I can buy that. Again, I still feel like that much dynamite, she could have just went whoop, 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 and done, you know? Done. Do you think Magna and Connie are dead? No, I don't think there's any way they would. If they do die, that is a really whack-ass way to kill them off. Magna irritates me. Same. I feel like they could have done a lot more with the episode. It was underwhelming. Dialogue was boring. Same. I be swept. Am I saying that right? Sweet P2 with a $2 love tap. What would have Rick done in that cave? I think Rick would have done exactly what they did as far as finding an exit. But I think once he realized the horde was there, it would have been about getting the people out and then utilizing the dynamite to get rid of the horde effectively. Not just getting it and running off. I think Rick 100% would have... And it's sad to say because I don't think Carol would have done that. The character of Carol. All right, let's look at the... let's look at the straw poll and see what you guys have to say. I'm going to bring it up now. If you want to get your final vote in, you can find the link in the video description and in the comment section. Let me go to the live chat. I don't know why it always changes. Dawson with a $2 dono. Alpha is flat. I wouldn't have fit that. Alpha is flat. I wouldn't have fit that. I'm not sure what you mean exactly. Did you mean... Are you talking about I want to fit that. Yeah, because she definitely has titties. She's not... No, never mind. I was thinking about that way wrong. Never mind. Never mind. All right, here we go. Straw poll coming up, and I didn't even look at it yet. Straw poll is coming up. Gavin's Ghost with a $10 love tap. Great stuff, Ronnie. Even Gamma's reaction to Alpha felt forced. Getting wide eyes, darting around. At least we got Negan talking about cutting off heads. That was another thing that frustrates me with Hollywood. They always do this where the character in front of their bosses or like a spy or an inside guy is always like this. And we as the watchers are like, oh, they're clearly uncomfortable. We should know that. We don't need to see it. This is how it should have been. They should have been like, they're across the border. And then Gamma should have been like, is our horde safe? Or are our guardians safe? We know she's shitting bricks. We don't need her to act like it. And then when she's leaving, that's when you do. When she walks away, she's all like, she gets around a tree and she's like, oh, fuck. You know what I'm saying? But they always have them do that. They're like, come in, let's huddle. I think one of us is a spy. Who do you think it is? You know, it's like, we know, bitch. I feel like the writers are either making us dislike Carol on purpose or making Carol act stupidly to progress the plot. Ding, 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 ding. It's all about the plot. And again, that's one thing that frustrates me with weak writing. As a fan, I would not dare make that comment as like a writer in a comparison, because no matter what I write, I'm always going to write something that's shit. You know, you're never going to get around it. I'm always going to write something that's shit. As a fan, I do feel like there's writers that, because keep in mind, this is their job. You got a lot of people there that probably like The Walking Dead, love The Walking Dead. But amongst all of them, there's a few that are there because, yeah, zombies, I don't hate them, but this is a great opportunity. Do you think they give a fuck if it's as organic and smooth and fluid as possible? It's a fucking paycheck for a good amount of them, I bet. There's probably another good amount that are really ride or die. And that's why you see this inconsistent, like really amazing and interwoven, beautifully constructed moments. And then you have others that are just like, they're in a cave, okay, they go out. They're in a this, okay, they do that. Oh, a cave, tiny holes. It's like the bare minimum. This episode felt like. I'm going to say I don't hate this episode. I don't dislike the episode. I'm just a meh on it. That's what I'm voting. All right, so I'm fucking shocked. No, actually, I'm not too shocked because like and meh is a head-to-head. I honestly thought I was going to do this review and people were going to be like, yo, Ronnie, get out of the fan base. Get out of the fandom. I did tell my mods in the Facebook group. I told them, I said, listen, and this is a hard thing to say. I don't think The Walking Dead is for me anymore. Yo, just that thought, it was like, oh God. I don't think it's for me anymore. The episodes are just flat for the most part. Old Walking Dead is still like, when I rewatch them, I'm like, you know, even knowing where the story goes, it's so fun knowing there's so much you can do with this. It could go in any direction. I don't get that vibe anymore. Now, also, they showed a little trailer for The Walking Dead World Beyond. And again, a lot of people were like, oh my God, yes. And again, it was really colorful fog with this terrible music, I thought. And it just felt like some CW trash. If they would have took the colorful crap out and had a really, fog and like, I might have been like, this is kind of hot. I just don't think current Walking Dead, I don't think it's for me anymore. I don't think it is at all. It just doesn't do anything. Anyway, so we got 40% almost of meh and okay. that blew my mind. I really thought it was going to be was going to be the highest, love, then meh, and then dislike and hate. Like has 36%, and then love has only 18 votes at rounded to 10%. That's lower than I thought because, again, the ratings, the reviews were crazy. The Vatos are dead. Sorry about that, but they are dead. And that is canon. They filmed it and everything. It only got cut because they didn't have time. It didn't get cut because it wasn't canon or it was stupid or yada, yada, yada. They only snipped it for time, in my opinion. And I think it was Greg Nicotero. One of them did an interview where they were like, yes, that happened. They are all dead for sure. You know? Anyhow, somehow saying The Walking Dead is not for me is a diss at the show. You're going to have to explain that rationale a little clearer. Anyway, so we got an even amount of votes for dislike, an 18. And then we got I was about to say, we have the same amount for dislike and love. And then we have only 4% for hate. Yeah, you know what? I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. I thought it would be like and love would be the highest. But yeah, all right. This seems to rock. This seems to fit how I feel. I think this is a pretty accurate poll for the fan base overall. Because you're going to have people saying that was absolutely terrible and then people saying that they loved it. So I think overall that was a good solid. All right, let's get the last few comments because we do have to shut this down in a few minutes. Nice and tight 1 hour stream for The Walking Dead's new episode. Let's see what you guys have to say. Do you like my Predator cursor? You know what sucks too is I wanted to also discuss some random shit. Did you guys know NECA is making a fucking Back to the Future figure? How cool would that be on your DVD rack? You know, but we don't have time for this. There's Back to the Future, Marty McFly. Look how ugly and beautiful this guy is. I still can't figure out if he's got mandibles that are all going the wrong way, but I love it. Oh my God, they got that Predator. Here's a Maggie for Walking Dead fans. It's from 3-0. I don't think it looks like her. There is another one where Maggie is, she was doing something. They got another image, and her expression looks a lot more like Maggie, but for the most part, I hope they correct this when they get closer to release because it doesn't look like Maggie much. But yeah, I got a kick out of some of that. I was like, yo, fucking Marty McFly, you gotta be kidding me. Don't give up on the show. You make the best Walking Dead content. Well, no, we're not stopping. I would never stop right in the middle of a season, not with the main show. Fear the Walking Dead is different. Even for Fear, I think I stuck it out until the final episode for that season. But I'm not going to quit in the middle of the season, and we're not giving up on the Walking Dead Flaw and Awe because I'm still excited. If you said, Ronnie, your Patreons we're gonna give you $1,500 a month to only create the Walking Dead Flaw and Awe and movie Flaw and Awe. I'm still like, will you take that or will you do this and yada yada? I would take that, and because I'm still excited to do season 3, especially because I've hated that season, and I want to show you guys what parts I don't like, and then I want to learn. Maybe I do like more than I thought, and I'm excited about season 4, season 5, even parts of season 6. Once we get up to season 6 is where my excitement wavers. I think for seasons 7, 8, 9, and 10, my excitement kind of wavers a bit. Now, I have an excitement to see the comparison of those seasons versus the first 5, like 1 to 5 and then 6 to 10, you know what I mean? But my excitement for the Walking Dead Flaw and Awe videos for seasons 1 to 5 is sky high. I can't wait. But I'm not just quitting. Right now, we're going to do the reviews every Sunday, the Flaw and Awe every Monday, and eventually we're going to get to a point where we have Flaw and Awe, movie Flaws and Aws every Friday. For now, it is one movie flaw and all a month, and I'm doing everything in my power to build up the Patreon, build up the YouTube support so we can hit that goal and do one movie flaw and all every week, every Friday, and one Walking Dead one. Again, that's been our goal for months now. I'm still on that path to get there, but right now it's Walking Dead every week, movie every month, every 2 weeks. What's your favorite Star Wars movie minus the third? I don't know. My opinion. What's yours? You mean the third as in that would be the sixth one that they released, or you mean the third as in like the original trilogy? So that would be Return of the Jedi, and then I think the real third movie would be Revenge of the Sith. I think my favorite is Empire Strikes Back. Speaking of NECA, I know you're not a metalhead, but Corey Taylor from Slipknot said he's in the works with NECA to make Slipknot figures. Well, here's something interesting. Just a little tease for those who read my Doomsday Kingdom comic. I'll give you a little idea for those who don't. But there is a really small chance, but it's a chance. I have not spoke to anyone officially, but if I've spoken like off to the side of people who aren't connected, but they are in the know when it comes to figure manufacturing and figure sales. If there's a chance, we would try to work something out with NECA to create a figure that would go exclusively on our website for Doomsday Kingdom. I'm trying to get a good image of... I think here would be one of the only images I have right off the top of my head, but it would be the rider in either this gear or he has another version of this outfit, but you haven't seen it yet. It's a little cooler, I feel, but this is like the raw rider version. And right now I'm trying to figure out if it would come with the rider masked with a feeding post, but there's a variant that someone had the artist do that has my head on the rider's body. So if we were doing two heads, it would be like that special where it was my head on the thing. And this is something I was just talking to someone about. But even if we just did the rider and a feeding post, it would be possible, because NECA does that, if you can build it up and if you could put in the order, but it would be sold on doomsdaykingdom.com. Now that's something, when we get issue 5 out, I'm going to talk with the artist and see if maybe we want to go in and venture on trying to get that done. It would likely be something where we would have to run the pre-order, but we're going to get all the costs down first. But anyway, hey Ronnie, who do you follow for your toy and figure news? Are they on Twitter? Help a brother out, man. Well, I just follow NECA themselves. I know Toys Arc or something. I don't follow a toy place because I like the movie stuff, but I'm not into like all the toy stuff. So if I follow a toy site, I'm just going to be inundated with all this shit. I don't care about Transformers. I don't care about... If it's from movies or I grew up with it and it is... it's like really like almost movie memorabilia type, I dig it. Usually. There's a few stuff that's nostalgic that I like. So I don't. I just kind of follow NECA and I peek in on what other companies are doing like Mezco. But that's only when I hear they're doing a Predator or something. But I hear, or I know Toys Arc it's called, they put out beautiful images. So I'll check with them once in a while. But don't even check with the sites. Go with like Big Bad Toy Store, because you could just look at all their new releases and they'll show you everything that's coming out. You know what I mean? Have you seen the Kill Bill extended version? It's all the movies combined with changes and deleted scenes, called The Whole Bloody Affair. It's a lot more bloody. I don't think I have. Do I watch Joe Rogan? No, but I've seen some of his stuff. Did you see John Bernthal on Joey Diaz's podcast? It was good. No, I didn't check that out. Thoughts on 10x10 promo sneak peek 1010? I didn't watch it yet. When I get the episode, I get it early, so I don't watch the next one. That Magna walking the cave about to kill a walker looked like she was the walking in the mall, swaying her hips. Didn't like that part. Yeah, I mentioned that. It looked just so silly. I need a Doomsday Kingdom figure. Yo, I think that would be awesome if we can get the Rider. Again, I think it would be cool if we could get the Clown and a few other figures coming out. I will personally manufacture your figures for you to privately sell on your website. DM me. Do you have a business? Where are you doing this at? My DM is in the About section, homie. Hit me up. You will personally manufacture your figures. Well, who's doing the sculpt? Let me know there, because how would we get that done? Because the way I understand it, NECA has someone to do the sculpts. We just have to put in the order, give them all the sketches and stuff they would need for the actual look. I want NECA to make comic Carl Grimes' New Beginning figure with his bloody eye hole showing. Alpha's stinky, saggy, poopy butt. Yuck. Yeah, I think a Rider figure would be cool. James made a pretty cool Rider figure. Yeah, James made one, but it's a 1/6 scale. A lot more expensive for us to make that or remake that for others. I think it would be easier or more cost effective to, because keep in mind, I've been looking into a lot of business stuff lately and refreshing my brain on old business stuff that I learned when I was younger. I just forgot about. But if you just look at like business, 101 is you always mark up your value 40 to 50%, because you need a wide margin for a number of different things. We're not going to get into business class, but for example, if you make a product for $8 and sell it for 10, you don't have a wide enough margin to make any profit off. You know what I'm saying? If you make a product for $5 and sell it for $20, you now have, for an investor, that's going to be like, holy shit, because you can run deals, you can run advertising, or you can run collaboration deals. There's a deal I'm forgetting, but you get what I'm saying. It's connected somehow. So if NECA is making the Predator and yada, 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 a lot of them are $27, $30, and then there's a handful that were $22. The Ninja Turtle figures are $22. So even if we just guessed that it cost them somewhere around $8 to $10, per figure, that's flat once it's arrived. There's a name for that. I'm blanking on it. But it's the amount that it costs for all of it done and brought to you here from China. And if it was about, let's say, 10 or so, just taking those numbers into consideration, I would have to know, well, how many would NECA need in order to make this? Do you pay an extra cost for the sculptor on top of it, yada, yada? See, again, there's a few different things I would have to go into, but I'm guessing that would be an easier gamble than the 1/6 scale figures, which are a lot more expensive. We're talking maybe 100, 150 per figure, but I would sell the, Rider NECA for, what, $30 or something? I mean, because I'm sorry, if that was in stores or cons, because it's so independent, it would probably be more like $50. I think that's what they charge on you guys let me know, you guys who are into the music guys, the heavy metal music guys, because I think that's what they charge, last I checked. Do you think Alpha actually likes Negan, or was she actually just rewarding him? I feel like right now I don't have enough to make give you any evidence, but I would suggest it's a combination. Man, Negan really downgraded from his wife to Sherry to Alpha. I know, right? Good God, but good night, Ian. Yeah, we're 9 minutes past our deadline, so we'll be shutting this down real soon. I still want official clown mask down the road. Yeah, that'll be something I would love to do around Halloween time, one of these Halloween times. But again, excuse me, we got to get the book and the volumes, our readership, let's say. We got to double and triple that, and we be sitting somewhere nice to keep it going in a more consistent, and then we can look at merchandising. They need to put The Walking Dead to bed like season 7 or 11 or 12 or whatever. Some people think The Walking Dead will go 20 seasons. Laughing face. Well, that's because AMC is telling people it's going to go 20 seasons. I don't know why you're laughing at people for that. I would have to disagree with you on that. it's easy to say The Walking Dead is going to end next year when you've been saying it for 5 years in a row. And every year, no one laughs at you because The Walking Dead is still on. But the year that The Walking Dead actually cancels, I bet you'll run around and yell at everyone, see, I was right, I was right. It's easy to predict something every year and not be right, and then the one year you're right, go, oh, I'm right. That doesn't count at all. The Walking Dead will be ending soon. The Walking Dead franchise isn't going anywhere. So yes, you're right. It might not hit 20 seasons, but if you think the Walking Dead TV show universe is done completely, you're mad. You're absolutely mad, or you're not paying attention. How far do you think Alpha's Stankbox reaches? Pretty far, pretty far. You want a dead David mullet mask. That'd be pretty cool, having the zombie David with a mullet flowing. It got to come with a little built-in blower where the mullet waves like a cape. Did you see NECA 1990 Casey Jones? Yeah, yo, I made a whole file. I would love to sit down and talk to people about different things on my personal channel, but I got to get cranking on more consistent with the Flaw and Awe videos. But I did make a whole folder of stuff that I thought was just real cool, and I wanted to show people in case they didn't know. Like Mezco got the really stupid stance, Mezco. What are you doing? But it's an original 1987 Predator from Mezco, which was really cool. There's the Casey Jones. You got the original Alien. Like, this is so cool. These are the original group for the first time. A bloody alien, which is something they probably should have been doing. Look at this. This Predator's nuts. You got the ghost face. That's a special one. I gotta grab a ultimate ghost face just because that was like hitting when I was growing up. This ugly looking albino beast of, I think that's like Scout Predator. Just such a cool design. I love all the Predators. Everything that's Predator. You have this articulated Spawn. Here's another one that's going to be a Kickstarter, which is a different, neat idea. I do disagree with some fans. I think McFarlane will put a swivel here and call it articulated. From the look of his stance and how his body is, I don't think there's any way for them to put articulation, unless this was a prototype to show it off and they're going to make something different. But that's an interesting direction. 1989 Batman, but I think that's interesting in a good way, because in the future we're going to crowdsource for our projects, our original content, for Doomsday Kingdom, for other content that's coming out. They got Jaws. Look, Marty McFly, that's so freaking cool. And if someone like Todd McFarlane, who he bought like $1 million baseball just to do it because he wanted the headlines to help promote his business. This is a person who bought like $1 million baseball just to promote, just for the PR. I'm almost positive that's what he said back in the day. If he needs to go to crowdfunding, then he's the perfect example to show people that I'm nobody. You know, I was born with nothing. I wasn't born into money. I wasn't born into connections. If Todd McFarlane needs to crowdfund to create fucking Spawn figures, which Spawn is what created his company, his comic line, Image Comics. It was one of the biggest things that created his toy figure line. It originally was called Spawn.com. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't McFarlane Toys. If that guy needs crowdfunding, we better, we absolutely need it. So I think it's great that he's getting into it. I love this, but it's dumb that he's got the armor on. They're just changing the color, but still, beggars can't be choosers. Look at this. Oh my God. For just that look, man. This guy's a pretty skinny. I don't have that mask though, but for fans of horror stuff, here you go. Look at that beautiful bitch. I love all the Gremlins, man. I love the movies. I grew up with them. I got to get myself a date with Greta. and Jaws. Look at that. That's insane. Do you know how much time it probably took to put that together? There's someone's job to put that together. That is so cool. And then there's Super Shredder. But yeah, my point is there's so much stuff that is out that's really cool looking. But my point is, like, I think it's great that McFarlane's doing Kickstarter because it's a perfect example. Look at, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times when we put projects out there, you will get the backlash where some people say, why are you doing it that way? Why are you doing it? And yada, yada, yada. And it's like, because we're literally no one. We have no connections. We don't have the financial backing. Look at Todd McFarlane has to do it. So obviously we got to do it. But yeah, we do have to clip this in the butt. Any last minute comments? Wow, what was that with Negan? I don't see any here. I wasn't that fond of the episode. Since the actress is playing Connie and how the cast of Moosh leaving the show. Well, I think she'll eventually leave, but if it's the tunnel, that was one whack-ass way to do it. The walkers in the show can now bite through work boots and not hit any skin. The plot armor was so thick. I didn't see them bite through work boots, so I don't know about that. I didn't see that. I saw their jaw stuck to his work boot, unless that was something different. Here are the video game dreams. What? You actually get to remake games or make original creative games within the Dreamverse? Hear of video game dreams? No, I never heard of that. How do you think the rest of the season will play out? I gotta go. I'm not doing a prediction for the rest of the season because they've already shown a majority of what we're getting as far as the main plot would be fight the Whispers, travel to the new community, leave us off with the cliffhanger for something coming up. And I am getting frustrated with their cliffhangers because keep in mind, someone brought this point up the other day too. Eugene needed to find something off the satellite to boost the radio. And I think these are cheap tricks which really drags The Walking Dead down. And they've been doing it a lot recently. But Eugene found something from the satellite to boost the radio. And that is how they got in contact with the new community. Huh. Well, who the fuck was at the end of the radio last season? Because when it ended, remember that? It ended and someone walked away from the radio and there was like the crackle and it was like, hello, are you out there? And we all assumed it was the Commonwealth and that would flow over to this season. But one of the problems I have with the stuff they do is they'll do that and it doesn't matter because it's only a cliffhanger. Even back in season 6 when Sammy was like, Mom, they'll do that and it doesn't matter because it was a cliffhanger. They will ruin the entire momentum at the end of season 6 and have a Negan guess who he killed cliffhanger. And it doesn't matter because it's this cheap hype buildup, which ultimately worked because at that point in time, everything in The Walking Dead was flooded with interest. But something interesting happened. Immediately after that reveal, everyone just left. And again, I feel like it's the cheap tricks adding to everything. It's compounding onto the problems. But that's it for me. Stay tuned for next Sunday. We'll be here for The Walking Dead episode 1010. I think that'll be a little more up my alley because it's like a slasher episode with Beta inside Alexandria, the community at Alexandria. I'm hyped for that one. So I'll see you guys here next. Whoa, that's so ugly and so beautiful at the same time. What's up, Marty? All right, I'll see you guys here next Sunday, 10 p.m. or 10:05, depending when it finishes. Good night, and thanks for the support. And stay tuned for The Walking Dead Flaw and Awe. Tell it to the frogs. That's coming Monday or Tuesday.